Greetings, beautiful souls. I hope you've been well and all is well in all your ways. Welcome to Mindset Change with your sister in prosperity, Carol. Change your thinking, change your life. Now, I hope you've been taking good care of your mental health because we agreed our mental health should always be our first priority because now you know your mind can make you or break you. And remember, if you want to prosper, you have to change your mindset, change your thinking, change your life. That is why I keep on repeating it like a broken record, because that is the secret of life that was hidden from you by the Kali Yuga system, the Roman Empire system, the Babylonian systems. These systems who colonized us, Africans, Kenyans, and they hid important information from us, the information from our ancestors. So make your mental health your first priority. Mental awareness. Your thoughts create your emotions. Your emotions create your life experiences. Now you can connect the dots. That the way you think, as a man thinketh, so is he. Okay? Keep that at the back of your head. Because when you know that, life will stop working against you and now life will start working for you. Because now you are working with the laws of the universe. As a man thinketh, so is he. Okay? Because now you know the secret of life that was hidden from you. That your mind, your thoughts create your emotions. Your emotion create your life experiences. Life is so simple, but now lack of knowledge and ignorance is our problem, Africans. Okay, that is why you need to, when you are coming to my channel, come here with a positive mindset, with an open mindset. Whatever I'll tell you, even if you won't believe me, in this era of technology, ignorance is a choice. You go do your own research before you come to my space to abuse me. Because if you come here to abuse me, I will deal with you well. I told you I am not one of your prosperity pastors. I did not come here to soothe you. It's your life, it's your cross. Okay? So, I will only move with those people who are ready to move. Those people who are not ready, because of the journey of the soul, maybe their time is not, it's not in this season. They will have to take another rebirth, the law of reincarnation of souls. Okay? Maybe this time is not your time for you to know about the new earth. When you die, then you come back. That is when you'll be able to grasp this knowledge, because it will be your time. Because anybody who is fighting this knowledge, it's not their time for them to go to the new earth. You have to discern the law of times and seasons. And as human being, we work with cycles, the cycles of earth. The cycles of earth were hidden from you by the Roman Empire system and the Babylonian Empire systems. But even if they were hidden, that does not mean they don't work. They work 24/7, 365 days of the year. They work. And these laws, they either work for you or work against you. Okay? So when you come here with a negative mindset and an arrogant mindset, you will find me here waiting for you. We will deal, you and I, because I won't tolerate your negativity. You take your negativity back to the old earth, the Kali Yuga system. Okay? You better be very careful. You better be very careful with what you come to write here. Because, let me not tell you. Yeah, because you might be shocked. Because you people, you're so arrogant and so ignorant, you just want to vomit words anyhowly. Huh? You know, if I'm telling lies, you go do your own research. If you find that I'm lying, now come, we square it out. But when you come to abuse me and you have not yet done your research, I will deal with you well. Okay? I won't spare arrogancy in my space. You should know, the red dragon queens, we are back. We are back in full force. Okay? We are back in full force. The red dragon queens, we are back. The divine feminine energy, we are back. So, be very careful. Be very careful with how you deal with the feminine energies. This is not the time when you used to oppress the feminine energy and expect the feminine energy to go at the corner and cry there. The times have changed. We are in the golden age of Aquarius. And the golden age of Aquarius is when the return of the Black Madonna, the return of the Red Dragon Queens, the return of the Black Dragon Queens, the return of the Blue Dragon Queens, the return of the Grey Dragon Queens. So be very careful with the way you treat the feminine energy. If you don't believe me, go do your research about the Mary Magdalene code, which has returned in this season. Yes, in the patriarch days, they hid the feminine energy, and they hid Mary Magdalene, they hid the Black Madonna, they hid the feminine energy. But we have moved away from the Kali Yoga system, from the patriarch rule system. We are now in the matriarch rule system, where the Black Madonna is making her comeback. And the Black Madonna is making her comeback through us, the star seeds, the crystal babies, the GenZs, the indigo children, and the crystals. Go learn more about the journey of the soul so that you can know whether you are the one of these returning ones. Okay? So before you come to abuse me, first of all, go do your own research. Then you come, we square it out. Okay? Because I won't entertain any negativity. I won't entertain any negativity. You should know the Red Dragon Queens are back. And this time, we are not joking with the haters. We will deal with the haters well. The days of patriarchy, of pinning the feminine energy in a corner, crying every day, those days are over. We are in the age of Aquarius, where power is returning back to the people. The feminine energy is back. The feminine energy will work with the divine masculine energy so that the earth can have balance. Okay? And that feminine energy, that is what the patriarch system rule was hiding, because they know the power behind the feminine energy. Okay? The feminine energies are people like Queen Sheba, Mombi, the great mother, and her 9 daughters, and also Cleopatra, Mary Magdalene, and Sophia. Those are the divine feminine energies. And those are the energies that have returned to earth through us. Okay? So, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Because you don't want to mess around with the feminine energies. Okay? Now, let's start our video. I had to talk to you people because I am not happy the way you are taking this. I don't know where you are taking this nonsense to. You should know me. I won't entertain your negativity. If you're not ready to wake up, I told you I am not forcing anybody to wake up. If you want to stay in the Kali Yoga system and wait for Pluto in Aquarius to get you with kicks and blows, be my guest. Okay? I have come because I have been sent to wake you up before Pluto comes to your 8th house to deal with you. So if you dare come here with your arrogancy, we will square it out. Okay? You should know the red dragons are back. And we won't take any bullshit from you. So be very careful. Yes. Now, let me start my video. I had to square so that you won't come here with any misunderstanding. Come here with an open mindset. Come here with a positive mindset. Come here, we learn. I will move with the people who are ready to move. If you bring any negativity, I will just block you. Because I will know you are not ready to move. You will have to take another rebirth so that you can be able to move. But those people who are ready to move without dying, to move to the new earth without taking another rebirth, I will go with them. And we will teach them what we have been taught by God. And those people will align themselves, because everything is energy and energy is everything. We will give them the hidden knowledge so that they can be able to vibrate themselves to the new earth. You, if you want to wallow in misery in the old earth, it's your life, it's your cross. But don't you dare bring your negative energy on my space, because I won't tolerate it and I will deal with you well. I hope you're together. Okay, I am moving with those people who are ready to move, because I am not forcing anybody to move. If you feel you don't want to move, go. to the people who don't want to move with you. Let those people who want to move easily and effortlessly through knowledge come to my space. But those who don't want to move, I am not forcing you. I am not forcing anybody. I will only move with those people who are ready to move, because those people were chosen before time. They were chosen before creation. Those souls, they know who they are. When they hear my sound, they will be able to align with my sound easily and effortlessly. And they will decode whatever information I am giving them. And they would fight the information because they know it's time for them to move to the new earth. Okay? So, let me welcome my returning subscribers. Always know you are loved. And my new subscribers. Here we are doing live push-ups so we can go to the next level, because it's the time for Kali Yoga system. The Roman Empire, the Babylonian Empire is over. We are now going to masculine, divine masculine and divine feminine energy rule. The rulership will have both sides of earth. The king will come with the queen. Okay, the gatekeepers, the reason why the new earth or the king did not appear on 30th June is because the way we were activating the new earth was wrong. That is why we are telling you God himself has come to the earth. God is in town. Yahuwah, the legitimate God. Not that God you pray in your churches. That God you pray in your churches is Baal, the God of Roman empires and the Babylonian empire systems. You have to discern. Okay? The God who came from heaven and now he's seated in his earthly throne is Gaiwa Kirinyaga. He's here and he's talking to us one-on-one, so that we won't make the same mistake we have been making because of lack of knowledge, because the knowledge of activating the new earth was hidden by the patriarchal system. The patriarchal system is this system where only the masculine energy, the wounded masculine energy was ruling the earth. Now earth was being ruled in one aspect of it. And if you want to rule the earth so that it can balance, you have to include the divine masculine part of earth and the divine feminine part of earth. It's called balance, it's called wholeness of earth. That is when we will have a balance of earth. And all sicknesses will end, all poverty will end, everything, anything negative will end, because now the earth is balanced. That is how the divine cosmic order of God works, the law of times and seasons. Okay? And that is why we have moved from the Kali Yoga system age of patriarch rule. Now we are in the golden age, the Messianic kingdom, the kingdom of peace. It's now establishing itself through the GenZs, because the GenZs, the star seeds, the indigo babies, and the crystal babies were the ones, and the rainbow babies were the ones, the souls that reincarnated in such a time as now, in order to bring forth change. Okay, because I told you, your true identity is that you are a soul, a spiritual being of light and love, and a soul is immortal, a soul is eternal. Okay, that is why you need to study the journey of the soul, because only your body that will die one day, but your soul will continue with the journey. So you should know which category of the soul you belong to. Okay, I will soon I will do a video to teach you the categories of the souls, so that you can know whether you belong to the GenZs, or you belong to the indigo babies, crystal babies, or rainbow babies. Okay, so that because when we reincarnate, when we come to this earth, we usually come with soul groups, and those soul groups are the one that we are given our soul missions, those who are sent to bring change. They are those souls I'm telling you, who are waking up. Some of them have already woken up, some of them are waking up, some of them are still asleep in the old earth. And that is why we are giving out this information, so that all sent souls, all the third wave of volunteers, the souls who volunteered to bring forth the new earth, the kingdom of peace, so that they can all wake up, and we can all move people to the new earth as a collective consciousness. Okay, that is why God himself came to earth. He's around. The owner of the universe is around, so that he can help the star seeds, the crystal babies, the GenZs to activate the new earth. Okay, so whatever is happening to Kenya is more spiritual than it's physical, because I told you Kenya is Canaan, Kenya is the promised land, Kenya is a stargate. Nothing can come to earth before it comes through the Mount Kirinyaga, the physical throne of God, where he's dwelling in this present moment. He will be there until the day the Udhamaki, the kingdom, will stand on its own feet. Okay, and that one will be 21st March 2027. It's called equinox. Okay, the new year of God, the March equinox. That is when the in 2027, 21st March 2027, that is the day the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of peace, the Odhamaki Wadai, will stand on its own 2 feet, and the king and the queen will be coronated on that day, on equinox day 2027. So from 25th June 2025 onwards, the preparations of activating the new earth are going on, because the new earth cannot come just like that. The old earth has to collapse in order for the new earth to ascend. Okay, and everything must align with the God's calendar, the lunar calendar. God is not using the Gregorian calendar. That is why our gatekeepers were using the Gregorian calendar. That is why the new earth did not manifest. But now he has talked to us and he has told us what we need to do in order to activate the new earth. Okay, and most of us, the star seeds and the GenZs, we are on that. We are preparing the way for the king and the queen. Okay. Now, this, as I told you, I will make a video so that you can understand the genesis of this. Because the person who laid the seed of change was Jomo Kenyatta, but he was unable to bring change because he was corrupted by the Roman Empire system and the Babylonian system, and he sold, together with his friends, he sold the soul of Kenya. That is why the GenZs were raised by our ancestors and the legitimate God, Yahuwah. So that in such a time as now, in 2025 onwards, up to 2027, they can activate forth the new earth. Okay, so it will go bit by bit. Always when there's a gate, when you see double numbers, 557788, those are gates. Those are stargates, and God is working with the stargates and portals to activate the new earth. He's not using the Gregorian calendar. He's using his own calendar, the lunar calendar, the law of times and seasons, which our ancestors used to use. Okay, so I think let's start our video. Now our topic today is why the kingdom of peace did not come on 30th June 2025. Okay, because that was the day most of us had. And remember when you are receiving visions, downloads, or what, there are these systems of earth, the patriarchy system, those who are fighting change. They usually tamper with the frequency of your downloads, and it's very easy for them to give you wrong dates. God himself gave you correct dates, but the transmission was twisted by the rulers of this world, the entities. That is why I always tell you to buy the bells. Okay, yeah, before I didn't have a bell, but after God came on earth and he told me to buy a bell, I bought a bell. Here's my bell, because this bell will help you to keep away the negative entities who are tampering with the transmission between the spiritual realm, the galactic center, and the physical realm. Okay, now that is why now God has advanced, because in the age of Aquarius is the golden age of technology, and now they have come technologies. You can be, God is the one giving you those codes to activate that technology. They are people who have been selected to have direct communication with the galactic center. Those people who are bringing the new earth. Now the people from the galactic center in the earth cruise are able to communicate with the people from the galactic center in the spiritual realm, I being one of them. Okay, we have a direct line to communicate with the crew in the spiritual realm, galactic center, and us here down, the crew, Because before we reincarnated, most of us were star seeds. We came from the galactic center. That is why we are able to communicate with our counterpart in the spiritual realm to bring forth the new earth. Okay, you have to understand this hidden knowledge so that you can be able to decode the law of times and seasons, and you can be able to decode what God is saying. And now in this season, God is coming to people physically. So when you hear a voice talking to you behind you, don't think like you are going mad. God himself, I told you, God is here. Yahuwah, the legitimate God, Gaiwakirenyaga, is in town because he's helping the fourth generation to activate the new earth, the Udhamaki Wadhayo. Okay, so when he comes to you, don't run away. Know you have been chosen, and he wants to work with you directly without any gatekeepers around. Okay, so when he comes to you, don't faint. No, he's here, he's in town. That is why we are informing you, so that when he comes to you directly, you won't faint or collapse. Okay. Now let's start. Okay. Now the reason why the new earth, the Udhamaki Wadhayo, did not manifest on that year, the June 2025, is because the rulership that was activated by the gatekeepers of Kenya was wrong. Because I told you the new earth, the kingdom of peace, is the heaven coming to earth. Okay, and when you hear heaven is coming to earth, the earth must be whole. The earth must be balanced. And I told you the way the earth functions, the earth has two sides: divine masculine and divine feminine. And the two halves will make a whole, and when the two halves makes a whole, that is when we will have zero corruption, zero sicknesses, zero untimely deaths. Okay, we will have peace, love, and light, because the earth is balanced. The earth is working with its two sides: the divine masculine, the divine feminine. Okay, now here's the catch, and the catch that made God so angry, and he had to descend to earth in order for him to work with the fourth generation and show them, give them the secrets of our ancestors, so that we can know how to activate the new earth through the GenZs and the star seeds. Okay, and the crystal babies, the rainbow babies, the indigo babies, those they know themselves, those souls who volunteered to come, because they are souls who volunteered to come in order to help us ascend. I being one of them, I volunteered. I used to work in the Galactic Center, Federation of Light Workers, but I volunteered to come to Earth. I had already finished my Earth missions, but because Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, came crying to God that Earth is in trouble, now some of us, we had to volunteer to reincarnate, so that by the time we get to 2025, we will have woken up in order to activate the codes of the new Earth. Okay, you have to learn this hidden knowledge so that you will take your soul missions, because most of you, because we attract who we are, and we do not get what we want. Most of you who are attracting me, you are from the third waves of volunteers, those souls who volunteered to come to earth in order to help mankind to activate the new earth. Okay, that is why we attract each other. But some of you have not woken up. Well, some of you are on the process of waking up, and some of you are still stuck in the old earth. But if somebody's time to wake up is not now, in this lifetime, they will have to die, the law of reincarnation of souls, in order to get to the new earth. You should stop wasting your time with them, because of the law of times and season. Those people who are not ready, they have written in their soul contracts, we won't be ready when the new earth come. We'll have to take another rebirth in order for us to understand whatever the activations of the new earth. So do not waste your time with them. You have to activate your discerning intuitions, so that you can discern who is ready and who is not. But the easiest way to know a person who will fight you when you tell them about the new earth, know that person is not ready, and that person will have to take a rebirth, or that person will be brought to the new earth by Pluto in Aquarius with kicks and blows. Okay, so light workers, starseeds, if you see somebody is fighting this information, don't waste your time with them, because probably it's not their time to awaken. You just leave them alone. Pluto in Aquarius will go to deal with them in the 8th house, or they will have to take another rebirth in order for them to understand how the new earth will come. Okay? Now, in order to understand how God rules in this golden age of Aquarius, because now God is taking over his universe back. In the age of Kali Yuga, the dark age, the devil himself was the one ruling earth, pretending to be God. So many people did not know that the devil was the one ruling the earth, and he was pretending to be the legitimate God. Okay, that was from the Roman Empire systems and the Babylonian system. That God they brought to you, the God that people worship in church, that is the Baal. Is not the true God. Is the God of the Roman Empire, the God of the Babylonian Empire. Is not the God of our ancestors. The God of our ancestors is this God who is around, who is in town, who came to help the fourth generation activate the new earth. Okay, so you have to be very awoke in order to understand this hidden knowledge. Okay, because the dark age is usually ruled by the fake god, the Baal, but the golden age, God himself, the legitimate God Yahuwah, whose son is Yeshua HaMashiach. Yeshua HaMashiach, who was married to Mary Magdalene, and the patriarchal system, they hid about Mary Magdalene, and they called her a prostitute because they were scared of the return of the Black Madonna, the return of the feminine energy, the queen, who is supposed to come alongside the king. And remember, God created us equal. The king and the queen are equal. Nobody is higher, nobody is lower than the other one. God said the king and the queen who are coming are equal, and they both have divine assignment, so that they can both balance the earth. Okay, that is why it's so crucial for the king Habinga to come with the queen oracle. Before Queen Oracle is activated, there's no way King Habinga will stand, because now in the golden age we can't have one side of earth. We have to have both sides of earth, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, in order for the earth to be whole, in order for suffering to end on earth. Okay, I hope now you understand whatever I am telling you. Now we are going back in this golden age of Aquarius, the Messianic kingdom, the Ozamaki Wadayo. We are going back to the divine cosmic order of God, where earth will return to its original form. Okay, before the fall of Eden. That is where we are going, where God used to govern the earth himself, and where God used the law of times and seasons, which he uses. And even now in the Kali Yuga, the reason why we usually go to, opposite our destiny is because God usually uses the law of times and seasons, but as we are using the Gregorian calendar, that is why we go to wrong marriages, we go to wrong destinies, because of using the wrong calendar. This Gregorian calendar was introduced in the 17th century, when they hid the legitimate calendar of God, the lunar calendar. The lunar calendar of God was wiped out in 17th century, okay, by the Roman Empire and the Babylonian Empire systems. These systems that have been ruling us with oppression and suffering and war. Okay, now that their age has ended, that is why now God is raising his chosen ones through the GenZs, the star seeds, and the crystal babies, the rainbow babies, and the indigo babies, the souls who volunteered to reincarnate in such a time as now. Okay, so go do your own research. Maybe you are one of these souls, and maybe you have not woken up to your soul assignment. Because one thing you have to note, you cannot leave this earth plane before you accomplish your soul assignment or your soul mission. If you happen to die before you accomplish your soul mission, you will have to take another rebirth, the law of reincarnation of souls. You have to take another rebirth and another rebirth and another rebirth until the day you will accomplish whatever soul mission your soul wrote as your soul contract, as your soul agreement. Okay, so you have to be very careful with this information and go do more research, because everything I'm teaching you is on the internet. You only need to show up and go listen to my older videos. They will teach you how to know thyself from a soul level, from a call level, so that you can be able to activate your soul talent, your soul gift, and you can be able to go to your soul assignment, your soul mission. Because maybe Probably you are one of us, the third wave of volunteers, the souls that volunteered to bring the new earth in this season. And now you're just there seated. Just know you can never escape you can never escape the law of reincarnation until you fulfill your soul assignment, your soul mission. Okay, that is why this information is very critical, because you have to accomplish. You clear your karmas, you clear your soul lessons, and you accomplish your soul missions, so that you can be able to vibrate yourself higher to the second heaven, where it will be on your way to the 12th dimension, where God lives. God stays in the 12th dimension, but at this present moment he has descended to earth. He's there in Mount Zion, because he's working with the fourth generation in order to activate the new earth, the kingdom of peace, because this is the time God is taking over his universe, so that he can rule it himself. Okay, so those people who are claiming to own GenZs, nah, Gen Z belongs to God. Those are the souls who reincarnated, and they wrote a soul contract. We will be the one to help the star seeds, the crystal babies, and the indigo babies, and the rainbow babies to activate the new earth, the golden age, the messianic kingdom on earth. Okay, now you see, now the reason why the king did not manifest on June 30th is because the feminine aspect, the queen, was hidden by the gatekeepers of Kenya. Okay, you see, that is why, as long as these gatekeepers will continue hiding the feminine side of earth, there's no way the king will manifest. But now God is around, the Yahuwah, the legitimate God, is around, and he's talking to the Gen Zs and the star seeds, and they will be able now to activate the queen, so that the queen and the king can manifest, both of them equally, so that the new earth can stand. This will happen bit by bit. Because remember, Rome was not built in a day. It will come bit by bit. The law of times and season, bit by bit. Now, by the time we get to 21st March equinox 2027, that will be the coronation day of the king and the queen, the king Habinga and the queen oracle. Okay, understand the divine cosmic order of God, which ruled on the days of Eden, before the fall of God and man. Okay, that is where we are going back to, before the fall of God and man. Now you see, now when we operate with both sides of earth, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, earth will balance, and we'll only have love, peace, and light, and people will love each other. It does not matter where you come from, because of the law of one. We are all one, because we all came from one source. That is Yahuwah, the source, the legitimate God, who is in town in this present moment. Now, the reason why the dark age of Kali Yuga is full of wars, poverty, sickness, everything negative you can ever think of, is because Kali Yuga was working using one side of earth, the masculine energy side, and that masculine was so wounded. It was full of karmas, because it was ruled by the rulers of this world, the Roman Empire systems and the Babylonian Empire systems. They are the ones who ruled the dark age of Kali Yuga. That is why the earth was in chaos. But in the golden age, the messianic kingdom, God himself will be the one to rule the earth through a king and a queen, divine masculine, divine feminine, so that because the earth will be whole, will return to the original cosmic order of God here on earth. And when the earth is whole, the earth will produce positive results. Okay, because now it's operating with its two sides of earth, divine masculine, that is the king Habinga, divine feminine, that is the queen oracle. Okay, now I hope you're understanding how the new earth, the golden age, is usually ruled by God, because it is written, in the beginning, before the thrones were forged, before kings rose, before swords clashed, there was the womb, the earth. The womb is the black Madonna, the feminine energy. You see, the womb came first. Okay, the womb came first, and that is the feminine energy. The feminine energy that they oppressed, the feminine energy that they hid. Yeah? And the reason why they hid that feminine energy is because they were scared of the feminine energies. You saw how in the ages in the kingdom of Kemet, the kingdom of Cush, how those kingdoms prospered. It's because those kingdoms were ruled with the two aspects of earth, the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Okay, the pharaohs, they had their queens, and those kingdoms of the pharaohs were very balanced. They worked well with the divine order of God because it was balanced. They had the divine feminine, the divine masculine, the pharaoh, the king, and the queen Cleopatra. You see, it was balanced. And that balance is what was removed by the patriarchal system of the Roman Empire and the Babylonian Empire. That is why the world is in chaos. But in the golden age of Aquarius, the Messianic kingdom, God is returning the divine feminine and the divine masculine to unite so that the earth can be whole and we can have balance and all our hardships, our suffering can end. Okay, that is the secret that was hidden from you by your gatekeepers. Your gatekeepers are not for you. Your gatekeepers are against you because they don't want to they don't want to accept that change has come. They just want to rule you with the patriarchal system of oppressing you, of pinning you in the corner, taking your power away. But it's up to you to elevate yourself, become a truth seeker, become a knowledge hunter, so that you can know what happens behind the scene. And now we can be able to activate the divine masculine, the king, and the divine feminine, the queen. We can now have King Habinga and the Queen Oracle. They are equal, so that they can now balance the earth with their divine leadership, okay, which they have been given by God, and now the earth can balance. And now Kenya will activate all its chakras. And remember, Kenya is the promised land. Kenya is Canaan. We have rivers which can heal people, but right now they are not activated. The king who will come will be the one to activate it, the king and the queen, because they carry codes of change. Now they will only go to speak codes that they will be given by God to those rivers, to those lakes, to those mountains, to those caves. And now Kenya will become a healing portal, a healing gateway to the whole world. That is why there's a verse somewhere usually says all the nations will come to the land of Cush to be healed there, because the land of Cush contains the healing of the world through its rivers, caves, forest. Everything in Kenya, they are called chakras, and they will be activated by the King Habinga and the Queen Oracle. And when they are activated, they will have the touch of God, and healing will start to flow. And all the nations will be coming to Kenya for divine healing. Okay, it will be like the days of Eden before the fall of God and man. I hope you're together. Now you see, God said, the womb came first. That is the feminine energy, the black Madonna. It came first. But now the patriarchal rule, the Babylonian rule, they hid the black Madonna, Mary Magdalene, Sophia, Mobi, and her 9 daughters. They were hidden because they knew the power of these daughters is very powerful. But now in this golden age, God is returning the lost daughters. He's activating the lost daughters through us, the daughters who are here at this present moment. That is why you can hear people saying the return of the black Madonna, the return of the dragon queens. Dragon queens are the ones who used to balance the earth in the sky and in the physical. Okay, so you see, because they have the codes of Mary Magdalene which were hidden, and those codes, they came with them. When God created them, he created them with those codes. They only need to speak because their mouth is fire. Their mouth activates gates. Their mouth opens portals. That's why they are called dragon queens, the feminine energy, the black Madonnas. That is why they were hidden, because the patriarch rule wanted to silence women, to silence daughters, to silence girls, because they know the power the feminine energy carries. Okay, and when the feminine energies arise, the earth will balance. Okay, now the Odhamaki Wadhayu, or the kingdom of peace, is not built upon elections. It's built upon the covenant of balance. The crown is not complete without both of its points. The both of its points is the divine masculine energy and the divine feminine energy, the king and the queen. They have to balance. They have to be there, the two of them, in order for the golden age, the rulership of God to stand. Remember, God created you equally, but now the patriarch system rule hid the feminine energy. That is why the earth has always been in chaos. Some people prosper, some people die because of poverty, because the earth is not balanced, because one side of earth was hidden by the gatekeepers and the patriarch system rule. Now we are going back to the matriarch system rule, where both divine masculine and divine feminine work together in order to bring heaven here on earth. Okay, now the king carries the mantle, while the queen carries the scroll, the sacred scroll. Because the king decrees and the queen awakens. Okay, the king governs the physical realm, while the queen governs the spiritual realm. Let me repeat, because this is very crucial. The king governs the physical realm, the queen governs the spiritual realm. That is why I always tell you, as above, so below, as within, so without. You see, the queen takes care of the spiritual. The king takes care of the physical. Okay? And before anything happens on earth, it must manifest in the spiritual. As above, so below. That is why we need both the king and the queen. Divine masculine, divine feminine. Because of the laws of the universe. Okay? When you work with these laws of the universe, as above, so below, as within, so without, the king to govern the physical, the queen to govern the spiritual, I'm telling you, poverty, suffering, sicknesses, untimely death, premature death will be a thing of the past, because now the earth is working with its both sides. Now the earth is whole, and when the earth is whole, it usually balances, and all the cures will end. Okay, you see now. Now, without the divine feminine energy rulership, the kingdom cannot stand. The golden age of Aquarius cannot stand, because one side of earth is not there. So you see, and that is why the old earth, the dark age, was full of corruption, full of everything negative, because one side of earth was not there, the divine feminine. Okay. Now, the journey to the new earth started fully on 30th June 2025, but the GenZs started activating on 25th June 2024. Now they are going to the second wave of the new earth. Now, the queen is the keeper of the earth cycles, the law of times and seasons, while the king will be the one to decree and declare laws in the land. Okay, the queen oracle is not behind the king. The queen oracle is not below the king. The queen and the king are equal, because they are both operating. The queen is operating in the spiritual realm side, and the king is operating in the queen is operating in the spiritual realm side, and the king is working on the physical realm side. Because now this is balance, because before anything happens on earth, it must happen in heaven. Now you see these two, the king and the queen, they are balancing both the heavens and the earth. As above, so below, as within, so without. Okay, now you can get how the kingdom, how the leadership of God works. The queen must deal with the spiritual, the king must deal with the physical, so that we can have balance, because nothing can come to earth before it first be activated in the spiritual realm. Okay, that is the secret that was hidden from you by the patriarch system, the Roman Empire and the Babylonian Empire. That is why the earth is so unbalanced. That's why we have chaos all over, because one side of earth, the feminine side, is missing. Okay, now both the divine masculine and both the divine feminine are equal. God created you equally, but the patriarch system rule deleted the feminine part of leadership, so it can control you, and it can hide your power, and it can take your power away, because the feminine energy, the feminine energy power comes from within, from your soul, from the spiritual realm. Okay, so that it can be activated in the physical realm, in your life experiences. You see, now that is what was hidden. That is why people are so That's why so many people live in victimhood mentality. People are so fearful because the divine feminine energy was hidden from them. The Black Madonna, the womb of creation, was hidden by the patriarch system. Now the divine masculine and the divine feminine bring back balance on earth, because now the earth is whole. Balance and equality of the earth will return. Now that says the Lord, Gaiwa Kirinyaga, the legitimate God Yahuwah. Let every gatekeeper, prophets, elders honor the divine feminine presence as a pillar of the kingdom of peace. Okay? The root of the kingdom of peace has two roots. The root of the fire for the king and the root of waters for the queen. Okay? Now here, the king is working with the fire, the queen is working with waters. And that is what we call balance. The balance of the water and the fire. Okay, now without without both, no kingdom of peace can arise here on earth. That is why now we are hearing the return of the Black Madonna, the return of the Red Dragon Queens, and now they are raising the daughters of the 9 daughters of Mombi, and Mombi herself, the Queen Shebas, are back. Now they are raising their mantle on earth so that the earth can balance again how it was in the days of Eden. Okay, that is why you can see when the GenZs are going for Mandamano, the girls are not being left home. They are going together because they know the importance of balance. Okay? The GenZs, they are very awoke. They know the importance of balance. They know if they match, if only the masculine energy match, there's no way they will get their breakthrough. That is why they are going, both the boys and girls, to match, because they know divine masculine and divine feminine will bring balance on earth. Okay, you need to hang out with the GenZs and the star seeds. They will teach you a lot, because these people came with codes of change. They know how the golden age of God operates. They can teach you a lot, and they know about the divine oneness, that we are all one because we all came from one source. That is why they are calling themselves, we are all cousins, because we are all cousins. It does not matter where you come from. We are all one because we all came from one God, and we are all souls. Our true identity is that we are souls. A soul is immortal, a soul is eternal, a soul has no gender, it's both feminine and masculine, a soul has no tribe. You see, now these guys, they know how the system works. The new system of God works. That is why you see they are going, all of them, to Mandamanos, because they know the importance of the divine feminine energy. It will bring balance. Yeah? When they merge the divine masculine and the divine feminine, it will bring balance. Now, Mary Magdalene was the wife of Yeshua HaMashiach, the one you call Jesus. Jesus is not his name. The name Jesus was brought by the Roman Empire system and the Babylonian Empire system, because the day when the Yeshua HaMashiach was on earth, there was no letter J. So you see, the letter J was manufactured after he left, and after they hid and killed Mary Magdalene, who had the other part of earth. That is why Yeshua HaMashiach was not able to turn around the earth, because one side of earth, Yeshua HaMashiach was masculine, feminine. No, Yeshua HaMashiach was divine masculine, and Mary Magdalene was divine feminine. And now they killed Mary Magdalene, and now they left Yeshua HaMashiach alone. That is why Yeshua HaMashiach was defeated, and he had to go through a lot until the day the Father came for his rescue. Okay, so you see, that is why he was unable to accomplish whatever he was to accomplish. But and then another thing, because of the law of times and season, Yeshua HaMashiach could not be able to bring forth change. But he laid a seed. He laid a seed of change, which will come to be finished by the King Habiga and the Queen Oracle. Now we will have the return of Yeshua HaMashiach and the return of Mary Magdalene frequencies, which will be activated to the King Habiga and Queen Oracle, so that now they can continue with the seed that was laid by Yeshua HaMashiach and Mary Magdalene, that was not finished because the patriarch system erased Mary Magdalene, and they called her a prostitute. They called her so many names. But you should know, Mary Magdalene was not a prostitute. Mary Magdalene was the wife of Yeshua HaMashiach, the man you call Jesus. Mary Magdalene was the wife of Yeshua HaMashiach. She was the divine feminine side of earth, and Yeshua HaMashiach was the divine masculine side of earth. That is why they erased Mary Magdalene and they killed her so that they can be able to defeat Yeshua HaMashiach. Now the Father had to come to rescue Yeshua HaMashiach because of the way the patriarch system did to Mary Magdalene. One part of the earth was taken away. Okay? Now, if you know that about the how God balances the earth with the divine masculine and the divine feminine, it will be so easy for you to activate the new earth to you. Because now you will know, you will have to work on your divine masculine side and your divine feminine side so that you can have balance in your life. Okay? So you see, now that is the history that was deleted about the golden age, about Mary Magdalene, when they called her and labeled her a prostitute. Mary Magdalene was not even a follower of Christ. Mary Magdalene was the wife of Yeshua HaMashiach. If you don't know today, but the patriarch system and the Babylonian system, they hid that from you. The age of lies, the age of corruption, the Kali Yuga, the dark age. Now we have moved from that age. We are in the golden age of Aquarius, where Mary Magdalene, Sophia, Mombi and her 9 daughters, Queen Sheba, Queen Cleopatra, are returning to earth through the daughters of the earth. That frequency is returning through the daughters of the earth. That is why, all you daughters, you need to wake up so that you can activate your divine feminine side and you can bring forth change here on earth. Now, this is how the divine order of God works. We start with the mother, the flame of the beginning, the womb. Then the father, the flame of provision and protection. Then the daughter, the flame of continuity. Because the mother came, the mother was Mombi, the mother was Mary Magdalene, the mother was Queen Sheba. Now the daughters, the dragon queens, the daughters are the one who are waking up so that they can complete the divine government, the divine masculine energy, the divine divine feminine energy. Now the daughters are waking up because they bring the flame of continuity. Now the son is the last one. The son brings legacy and expansion. Now you see, we start with the mother, father, daughter, son. That is the divine order of God. I hope now you understand how the divine order of God works. We have the mother, the beginning, the womb, the father, the flame of provision and protection, the daughter, the flame of continuation. Now we are taking over from where Mombi and her 9 daughters left, where Queen Sheba, Cleopatra, Sophia and Mary Magdalene left. Now the daughters who are now in this present moment, they are taking their mantles. That is why you can hear the return of the black Madonna, the return of the red dragon queens, because the daughters are taking their power back, the power that was stolen by the patriarch system. Okay, and now the son is the flame of legacy and expansion. Now you know the mother, the father, daughter, son. That is the correct order of the divine order of God. Okay, now when I went to the Mogumo tree, because the system, the gatekeepers told you that the women or girls or daughters should not step near that Mogumo tree in Mount Kenya. God himself, Yahuwah, Gaiwakirenyaga, is the one who sent me to that Mogumo tree. For what? Mombi, our great mother, the Mary Magdalene of our time, she left codes of the divine feminine under the Mogumo tree, and she said the 7th generation should be the one to go to get those codes so that they can activate them on earth, and now the earth can bring back the red dragon queens, the black Madonna, the return of the black Madonna. Okay, the feminine energy. That is why I was sent there to go and take those codes from that Mogumo tree, so that I can activate the return of the black Madonna, the return of the feminine energy, so that the king, when he comes, he won't come alone. The king will come with he will come with the queen, King Habinga and Queen Oracle, divine masculine, divine feminine. That is the whole. All the sides of earth are around. Okay, God is returning the earth to its original form. In the days of Eden, before the fall of man, we had the divine masculine, divine feminine. That is why the king is coming with the queen. They are equal. Nobody is below or above the other. They are equal. God created you equally, but now the system, the patriarch rule, pinned the feminine energy down so that it can be able to oppress the feminine energy, and they can silence daughters and they can silence women. But that age is over. The patriarch system age is over. We are now in the golden age of Aquarius, the new earth, the 5D, where the divine masculine, divine feminine is returning. The king must come with the queen, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, so that they can make a whole and they can bring back the original cosmic order of God. That is why God himself is here on earth. He's in Mount Kirinyaga, so that he can work with the GenZs, the star seed, the crystal babies, the rainbow, the indigos, so that they can bring forth the new earth. And the activations will be bit by bit, because Rome was not built in a day. Even the new earth won't be built in a day. It's a matter of the earth of you showing up and raise your vibrations, because only your vibrations that will help you to ascend to the new earth. Because in the new earth there's no shortcuts. You have to clear your soul karmas, your soul lesson, your soul wounds, in order for you to ascend to higher realms of consciousness. Now I hope you are together, and now you know why the king did not manifest on 30th June 2025, because the way we were activating the kingdom was wrong. That is why God descended to earth, so that he can give us the secrets of the universe, the spiritual laws that govern the universe, so that we can activate the new earth. So nothing has changed. The king is still coming, and he's coming together with the queen. King Habinga and Queen Oracle, they are coming. Now, the GenZs are the ones to activate them together with the star seeds. Those are the ones who are in the front line to activate the new earth. It will go bit by bit. By the time we get to 21st March 2027, March equinox, because God is working with the law of times and season, he's using his calendar, the lunar calendar, that has 13 moons, 13 months. The calendar that was deleted in the 17th century, that is what God is using. That is when the coronation will happen. Okay, so continue working on yourself, continue raising your vibrations, and continue becoming truth seekers, because only the truth will set you free, only knowledge will set you free, so that we can be able to shift to the new earth, the land of milk and honey, when Kenya is taking her power back to become a kingdom, to become a superpower, because the wealth of the nations is hidden in this country. The king, when he comes, and the queen, they'll be able to activate everything that God has hidden in this country. Kenya will be unrecognizable. Say unrecognizable. Kenya will be unrecognizable. People will know that Kenya serves a living God. Now you hear, the king is coming to continue with the soul mission, which Jomo Kenyatta was unable to accomplish, because during Jomo Kenyatta's time, we were still in the Kali Yuga. The energies were not favoring Jomo Kenyatta. That is why he was unable to accomplish his soul mission. But now we are in the age of Aquarius, where power is returning back to the people, the Black Hebrews. So it will be so easy for the king to activate everything, the king and queen to activate everything that God wants them to activate. Now, I hope somebody somewhere has learned something, and from today you will go to work and work on yourself. Know thyself from a soul level. Keep a positive mindset, and always be ready to learn. Okay, if you see like I'm lying, you can go do your own research, because in this era of technology, ignorance is a choice. Okay, and we are in the age of Aquarius, where information is everywhere. So before you start cursing, go do your own research, then you can start cursing. Okay, but no, I won't tolerate any negativity in my platform. Okay, you come here with an open mindset, we exchange ideas. If you feel you don't want to wake up, nobody's forcing you to wake up. We will just move with the people who are ready to wake up. The rest who want to continue sleeping in the old earth, Pluto in Aquarius will come to drag you with kicks and blows. But those people who want to move without any hardships of Pluto in Aquarius will take this information positively, and they will work on themselves, and we will go, all of us, to the new earth. So like, comment, share, and subscribe, so that we can build our community together and we can wake the sleeping souls who volunteered to come and change Earth, who are still stuck in the old Earth. And remember, we are not forcing. We are only moving with the people who are ready to move because of the lot of times and seasons. Some people are not ready to move. They will move after after their next rebirth. So if you see somebody fighting the information, no, they are not ready to move. And stop wasting time with those people who are not ready to move. Okay? We will move with the people who are ready to move. Our tribe members. We are only moving with our tribe members. Those people are ready to move. Those people who have been called to be game changers and change agents. Now, till next time, see you when you see me. Ciao.